Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Talky. I'm Jennifer, and today I'm joined by my friend Kate. We're both really excited to teach you about a useful part of English grammar, relative clauses.
Hi everyone. I'm happy to be here. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's get started.
First of all, what is a relative clause? A relative clause is a part of a sentence that adds extra information about a noun. It helps us connect ideas and make our sentences more descriptive. There are two main types of relative clauses: defining and non-defining. Today we're going to focus on defining relative clauses, and in our next video, we'll cover non-defining relative clauses. But before we dive into defining relative clauses, let's talk about something important: relative pronouns and adverbs. Kate, could you explain what these are?
Of course, Jennifer. So, relative pronouns and adverbs are the words that introduce relative clauses and connect them to the rest of the sentence. We use relative pronouns like who, whom, whose, that, and which, depending on what we're talking about. For example, who is used for people, while which is used for things. We also have relative adverbs like where, when, and why that help us talk about places, times, and reasons. Jennifer, could you take us through defining relative clauses?
Thanks, Kate. So, defining relative clauses give us essential information about the noun they describe. Without this information, the sentence wouldn't be complete or clear. Let me show you some examples. The book that I borrowed from the library is interesting. In this sentence, that I borrowed from the library is the defining relative clause. It tells us exactly which book we're talking about. Without it, we wouldn't know which book is interesting. Kate, could you give us another example?
Sure. Here's another example. The person who helped me was very kind. Here, who helped me, is the defining relative clause. It's essential because it tells us which person was kind.
Great example, Kate. As you can see, defining relative clauses are really important in helping us be clear and specific in our sentences. Remember, these clauses usually come right after the noun they describe, and they don't have commas around them. Let's look at one more example together. The house where I grew up has been sold. In this sentence, where I grew up is the defining relative clause. It gives us important information about the house.
Exactly. And without this clause, we wouldn't know which house was sold.
And that's it for today's lesson on defining relative clauses. Kate and I hope you found it easy to follow and that you can start using these clauses in your own sentences.
In our next video, we'll explore non-defining relative clauses, which add extra, non-essential information to a sentence. So, stay tuned for that.
If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Talky.